Learn about a country every day. Vietnam. He has made countless single men happy. Hometown. Once upon a time, the internet is full of talk about marrying. Vietnam. The beautiful legend of the bride. Only tens of thousands of dollars. You can marry someone who is absolutely committed to you, industrious and virtuous, gentle, considerate and beautiful. Vietnamese wife. According to incomplete statistics, Vietnamese brides currently living in our country more than 100,000, and this number still growing at the rate of 10,000 a year. In many rural areas of northern Vietnam, traditional matchmaker introductions are no longer sufficient to meet demand, so a new type of blind date market emerged in the first month after the Spring Festival. Every year, single men and women from dozens of surrounding villages will gather in a fixed place, pick each other like a market. In these dating markets, the girls are sitting behind the table. He had his resume in front of him. Says age, height, education, occupation, and required bride price, and the boys lined up and introduced themselves. It's like looking for a job in the job market. Girl's bride price amount usually priced according to appearance and education. She's pretty. A highly educated girl, the bride price can reach 2 to 300 million Vietnamese dong. And ordinary looking girls with low education, the bride price is between 50 million and 100 million Vietnamese dong. This kind of blind date with a price tag, it's like buying and selling something. Except for Vietnamese brides, Vietnam's highly developed service industry, it is also attractive to the majority of male compatriots. The important reason for the influx from the emperor, who makes people blush and heartbeat, to crippled meals that relax the whole body, then to the mysterious Dragon Palace party, and each one of these can be quite memorable. Inextricable. Although sex trafficking in Vietnam is illegal, but this underground industry has not been completely eradicated. Only 1 million Vietnamese dong. A short-term relationship with a beautiful woman in Vietnam, even it only costs 5 million to 15 million VND per month. You can get the long-term exclusive company of a sugar treasure. In addition to providing the intimacy you desire, it also gives you emotional value. Act as your social face. Vietnam is located at the southeastern tip of the Indochina Peninsula in Southeast Asia. To the north, our country borders Guangxi and Yunnan Department with Laos Cambodian border. The total land area is about 330,000 square kilometers. The total population of the country is about 100 million. The capital Hanoi is the largest in the country, and the second most populous city. Hanoi was formerly known as the Dragon. It was the capital of the first unified dynasty of Vietnam. For almost 900 years, Hanoi has always been a part of Vietnamese politics, economic and cultural center. Former Vietnam. It is also a very poor and backward agricultural country. However, in the past 10 years, Vietnam has created a global economic miracle. More and more multinational companies started moving production lines from our country to Vietnam. It also joined the CPTPP. In 2025, the Vietnamese government, it also launched a series of unprecedented reform measures. Many people say, I'm afraid Vietnam is really about to take off now. So what is the real life of Vietnamese people today? So what's it like? The first is the medical aspect. Vietnam lifts administrative restrictions on healthcare. Cardholders can place bets at any location in the country. Register of primary care institutions enjoy full medical insurance coverage, and since last July insured for more than 5 consecutive years. Out-of-pocket expenses per year no more than 6 months' basic salary. After the annual out-of-pocket expenses exceed the upper limit, remaining medical compliance costs all funded by the Medical Insurance Fund. Individuals don't have to spend a penny anymore. That is to say, according to the current basic salary in Vietnam, the maximum annual personal liability is 14.94 million VND. This means that even if necessary long-term treatment of chronic or serious diseases, family only pay up to 15 million VND per year. For the average working family, it's totally affordable. This is also to prevent family an important guarantee for serious illness to fall into poverty. Since last September, Vietnam has implemented 15 years of free education. Public schools from kindergarten to high school, full tuition waiver. This means that a child goes to kindergarten from the age of 3, graduated from high school at the age of 18. Parents spend almost no money on tuition, even some tuition and fees and books no more than 2 million dong per year. Comprehensive calculation in ordinary Vietnamese. The average monthly cost of living in major cities between 6 million and 8 million dong. In 2026, the average monthly salary in Vietnam is about 8.70 million. Average monthly salary in Ho Chi Minh City and Hanoi about 11 million to 12 million Vietnamese. This means that most people only need a stable job. It's easy to maintain a basic life. There's even some left over for entertainment and savings. If there are any regrets in Vietnamese life, that's high housing prices in recent years. With the rapid development of the economy and the influx of foreign capital, housing prices in major cities in Vietnam, there's been a crazy spike. It has far exceeded the ordinary salary. The affordability of the class become pressured by Vietnamese young people. The heaviest amount in 2026 Q1, the average selling price of a newly built apartment in Hanoi reached 128 million Vietnamese dong 1 square. A small apartment of 50 square meters needs 640 million Vietnamese dong. In Hanoi need 560 million Vietnamese dong. In Ho Chi Minh City, the monthly salary of an ordinary white-collar worker, it's about 10 million guilders. Husband and wife add A monthly income of about 20 million guilders, even if they don't eat or drink. It also takes 26 years to buy a 50 square meter house in Hanoi. If you take into account the cost of living, this time will be extended to more than 40 years. However, Vietnamese people have a much more peaceful mindset when it comes to buying a house. They don't think you have to buy a house to get married. I don't think the house is the only measure of a person's success. Many young people would rather rent a house to live in. I don't want to be a house slave. Tie yourself to the house for the rest of your life. In Vietnam, renting for marriage is a very common phenomenon. No one will look down on you because you don't have a house. Many people think Vietnam is a country with more women than men. Actually, no. Former Vietnam, there are nearly 3 million more women than men at that time. A man marries 2 or 3 wives. It's very common in rural areas. It was even considered an honor. However, now the marriage age in Vietnam, there are already 415,200 more men than women. With the serious gender imbalance, today's Vietnamese bride price is skyrocketing. Even in ordinary households, unbearable northern rural areas, the bride price is generally between 50 million and 200 million, equivalent to 5 to 10 years of net income for an average farmer. The bride price is higher in urban areas. Middle-class families in Ho Chi Minh City and Hanoi, the bride price is usually between 80 million and 300 million Vietnamese dong. Bride price for some wealthy families, even up to billions of Vietnamese dong to marry a wife. Many families are willing to go bankrupt, even borrow from loan sharks. Some criminals also take advantage of the opportunity. Cases of fraudulent marriage are endless. According to statistics, in 2025 nationwide, there were more than 2,000 cases of marriage fraud. The amount involved exceeds 500 billion Vietnamese yuan. To help young people who cannot get a bride price, marry a wife, banking and financial institutions groups in Vietnam launched a special bride price loan product. The amount of this loan usually between 50 million and 200 million VND. Term 1 to 3, annual interest rate of about 12% to 15%, although to some extent addressing the urgent needs of young people, but it also brought serious social problems. Many young people want to marry a wife, be willing to take on heavy debt. Married life is miserable. Some families are unable to repay their loans. We had to sell our house and land, even on the path of crime. Vietnam is known as the motorcycle kingdom. There are more than 60 million motorcycles in the country. That's one for every 1.7 people. In Ho Chi Minh City, this number is even more staggering. There are more than 8 million motorcycles in the city. That's one for every 2 people. Daily rush hour streets of Ho Chi Minh City, it becomes an ocean of motorcycles. Thousands of motorcycles. They're packed together. The roar of the engine was deafening. It was spectacular. But the most amazing, it's not the number of motorcycles. It was the development of motorcycles by the Vietnamese. Utilization in Vietnam, there's nothing a motorcycle can't carry. You can see it. A motorcycle carrying 5 or 6 people, carrying a pig or a cow, carrying a refrigerator or a washing machine, even carrying the goods of the entire commissary. For the Vietnamese, motorcycles are not just a means of transportation, it's a part of life. And not only that, the roadside stall culture in Vietnam is also very developed. Apparently, it has become a business card for life in Vietnam. In the streets of Vietnam, there are all kinds of roadside stalls everywhere selling pho, baguette, spring roll, coffee, fruit, etc. According to statistics, 90% of Vietnamese eat street food every day. For the Vietnamese, roadside stalls are not just places to eat, it's a place to socialize. They like to sit on little plastic benches by the side of the road eating delicious food, chatting with friends. And Vietnamese street stalls are not only cheap, and it tastes very authentic. A bowl of beef pho is only 3 to 40,000 Vietnamese stew. A baguette sandwich 1.5 to 5,000 Vietnamese stew. Even in Ho Chi Minh City and big cities like Hanoi, you can eat enough for 10 yuan. This is Vietnam. He is no longer the poor he used to be. Backward country, although he is not perfect, but he's also trying to get better.